Hi, this is Tashina.
And this is Jonathan.
And this is Abandoned Ship, a podcast where we are taking you through Deep Space Nine.
Yes, and today we have probably the most interesting episode of Season 1, Vortex.
Oh, how are we not talking about Vortex all the time when we talk about the important canon of Star Trek?
When I first saw the title Vortex, I did not think, is that an episode or, huh? I thought, oh yes, of course, Vortex.
Of course. I'm nervous because honestly, I feel like I've already forgotten about this episode, and I'm really glad I took
yesterday.
I'm glad I took notes. So I'm heavily relying on these notes today. I hope they guide me well. I felt like as soon as it was entering my brain, it was also like exiting.
Yeah, it does establish some of the journey of Odo.
Yes.
And what he has been seeking. So that part is important.
Mm-hmm.
It just does it in a very vanilla wrapper.
It's so bland. And some confusion from like the very beginning in the cold open. Because we have two different species that for a hot second I thought were the same. And then I realized, oh no, they're two different species.
Yes.
Because somebody in the makeup department didn't get the memo that these two were in the same episode.
They only had one palette of colors working that week. And they're just like, we just got to make everything.
But it's like they both had a similar like forehead structure.
Mm-hmm. You had the real makeup, which was on the Middledorn, and the makeup they accidentally left in the sun, which they put on everyone else.
What was going on with that?
It was
makeup?
very distracting, to be honest.
It was.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start it off.
The thrilling episode of Vortex.
We start off in Quark's bar.
Mm-hmm.
A nice Quark and Odo scene. We've had a lot of these. I feel like every single episode has a Quark and Odo scene, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, which is good because they do have good chemistry together.
It's good, but even this one is
not the greatest.
Yeah, it's like all elements, like, pretty much they're just gossiping and gabbing about the new Raider ship that came in.
Yeah, we got Odo talking to Quark. Odo's trying to shake him down.
Yeah,
like usual. Talking about this Middledorn Raider that has recently docked. He's trying to see what Quark knows about it, and Quark's playing it off as nothing. There's a lot of, in this episode, Odo just badgering Quark and badgering Quark and badgering Quark. And Quark does not do a great job at hiding what he really knows.
No, he doesn't.
At first he kind of does, and then he's just, it's like, does this really work? Just asking someone enough questions and then they crack? I don't know. I think he could have hid his feelings a little better. Anyway, so Odo thinks that Quark knows about the Raider. Clearly Quark does. Quark's not telling him that, though.
And then they shift very quickly over to a patron at Quark's who was from the Gamma Quadrant. I didn't catch the name of his species, but later on
they never said. He just said the Klingons brought him back from the Gamma Quadrant.
Later on, we find the name of his planet.
Rockhard.
Rock. But they all say it differently.
Rockhard,
like Dax says it completely different towards the end of the episode. So I'm just going to call it Rockhard.
Yep.
That's the planet he's from.
Yeah, so they go immediately from talking about the Middledorn to, pointing out this other guy.
And we haven't seen the Middledorn
We've never seen a Middledorn. So you have in your brain connecting Middledorn, then you see this and you go, okay.
And even though I know that they're talking about separate things,
yes.
Your brain
is associated.
Exactly. So
yeah, we're not that stupid. We know that they're different.
We know
but
they're
still,
different.
the brain's doing a weird
matter,
thing.
like how you pace stuff, how you transition, and especially not seeing the Middledorn until like right after this conversation too. So they talk about him, then we see the Middledorn. So it's like all these two are mingled together on a script level. And then the makeup is similar. And I'm like, wait, I turned to you and I went, there were supposed to be two different species, right? I'm not like missing something.
And it's not like the makeup, like, you can tell it apart, but it feels like variations on a theme. It feels like, okay, so this is like strong, buff Miradorn, and this is what the sad Miradorn looked like. This is what the
didn't you call him a sad boy?
Yeah, sad Miradorn. You got the Miradorn and the sad Miradorn. And we've had stuff like that before. Voyager did that with like the Hirogen and the Hirogen. The engineers, they were always wimpier looking. So it just looks like a wimpy Miradorn.
Yes.
And
nope, completely different.
Yeah. Specifically, it looks like one that was melted. And the whole sad, melty look on the face made it very I found it unusually distracting. It
was pretty bad.
It's a weird thing to get hung up on, but I think I don't like this episode simply because at some visceral level, I don't like this makeup. I don't like looking at it.
I mean, that's why makeup, props, these are all important.
Mm-hmm.
They're just as important as the script and the director because, as we've seen, they could take you right out of the episode. But I don't think the script helps either. I think this cold open was just a jumble to me.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
So Odo pressures them about this guy too, since apparently he's working all the angles. Like, oh, don't you know him? People saw you talking with him. No, I was just being a good host,
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff. So he's deflecting on the Miradorn. He's deflecting on this guy. So clearly they're both involved in something. It was a lot to push onto you before we even had a chance to think maybe that Quark was telling the truth. I'll get to it. Put a pin in that.
Pin in that.
I'll talk about it when we get to the holodeck. So now at this point, the Miradorn actually do come in. And they go up to the holosuites. Quark's again blowing it off. This is nothing. And then within earshot and within eyesight of Odo, goes to Ram and tells him to get the finest special liquor that they have. It's like, okay. And the key point here, Ram puts 4 glasses on a tray.
Yes.
4 glasses. Goes to get a bottle. But when he leave, it has 5.
Bum, bum, bum.
I didn't notice that at first.
I didn't notice it either. I was wondering why they were like lingering on the glasses so much in this. I'm like, is this a special drink? Are we poisoning them? What's happening? And I'm like, oh, I'm a dummy. it's the glasses. Which, we'll talk about in a second. So we get to the credits. Then we go to the hall suite that they're meeting in with now we see here that the Miradorn, it's 2 guys, they're twins.
And they call them and they don't just say twins, they say it's the twinned Miradorn. So clearly there's some
Miradorn.
It's like there's clearly some sort of, special thing with their species going on. At least subtly in the writing is indicated that there's something. Oh, it's the twin Miradorn. Everyone knows about twin.
Do we find out what's special? No.
No, he seems perfectly capable then.
They're just twins.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one later. So yes, he's meeting with it, and they bring out this. It's a Fabergé egg. They call it some kind of bauble or whatever.
An alien Fabergé egg. So yeah,
Quark. It even says in the transcript.
Quark's talking with the twinned Miradorn. They're trying to negotiate a price on this. Miradorn trying to sell it.
And then Quark all of a sudden is like, how do I know it's not stolen? Like, he's kind of pushing back, which is weird since it seems like he set it all up and now all of a sudden he's like turning on them. And even they were like, wait, why are you questioning this now?
I interpret this as Quark just being a good Ferengi. He's trying to get a lower price because they're trying to get him to buy it.
Yes.
So that he can resell it. So obviously he wants to buy it for less. So, and it works in his favor because it also makes it look like he too is suspicious about it being stolen. Because that's what Odo is concerned about. So he's trying to say, hey, if you had a bill of sale, this would be worth more. But if it's stolen, that means I have to, work outside the law here and find special vendors, which means I'm going to get less for it, which means I can pay you less. So he's just, trying to
angling, yeah. And then all of a sudden, our sad boy burst in.
Melty Face.
And we find out later, I think his name is Croden.
Croden.
Yeah. Melty Face. With a weapon, and he's like, "Give me the Fabergé egg."
Really, what he says is, give me the egg. Give me the egg.
Give me.
Give that to me.
Yeah, please.
I don't know exactly what he was playing here, but it did not work for me.
No, it did not.
Did not come across as forceful. It did not come across exactly as like scared, like, oh, he's out of his element. Didn't
like,
really even seem that desperate. Because he seemed too calm for it to be desperate.
Because that's kind of what is going on, right? Later on, we find out he's doing this, I guess.
Do we? Why is he doing this? Why does he want this egg?
I thought he wanted some kind of monies from Quark.
Does he?
Well, we never find out what
I guess.
actually happens. Like, what did Quark...
How did he find out about this?
Oh, see, I thought Quark told him to come in and steal this egg.
Yes, but how did he find out? How did this whole plan originate?
Oh,
because he just showed up at the Gamma Quadrant one day.
Yes. And
apparently
so,
on the run.
Why did Quark trust him?
It's all very weird, and it is never explained.
And it's really just shuffled off to the side. If it sounds confusing, it's because it is.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really explain all the mechanics. Some things we can infer, but some things I'm like, I guess that's what happened. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is that this was Quark and Cordon's plan. I mean, Quark went up to Cordon. He played this part where I guess he was going to steal it and then, like, for a price, give it back to Quark.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing he needs money so he can get because he doesn't have a ship to go where he needs to.
I guess. Think you could. Yeah.
Who knows? The writers, I guess, didn't care. Why should we?
It's all just kind of weird. And I think knowing where the plot goes, it would have been better for him to play it more as desperate, like he is. Because it seems like in the end, the certain parts of his story are true.
Yes.
He should be very desperate.
Yes.
But he didn't look like he looked like he was supposed to be playing as desperate, but they're trying to throw you, right?
Yeah.
Because they want you to not trust him. They want him to look like your typical rogue. And I think the problem is they make him act too well as your typical rogue, so that by the time you get to his real story, I don't believe it, even though it actually is true. Like, oh.
But is he even a rogue? Because all of a sudden, Odo's like, well, you're just a liar who lies. And I'm like, do we even know that much about him?
We don't. He progresses very fast, though, because he shows up in the Gamma Quadrant, like, a day ago, and is all just like, I'm all alone here. Odo, we are one and the same. Alone. It's like you're on a holiday. You've been here for a day. I've been here for 300 years. Like you expect, it's not someone who, this is someone that Klingons just brought from the Gamma Quadrant. He has just shown up. He's not Garrick. He's not Odo. He's not exiled out here, been hiding out for so long that he's become, developed a sense of ennui. It's just like, my people, I miss them. I'm in a strange land.
Because they had mentioned that Sisko even talked to him briefly because he's from the Gamma Quadrant and he's the first of his species to come through. And he didn't really get anywhere with him.
And with a span of a couple hours, he's, woe is me, I'm all alone.
And somehow
just go back.
Hatched a plan with Quark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're spending so much time on like the first 5 minutes of this episode. But this first section is so confusing. And like it sets up the rest of the episode, which I think is why this episode was such a dull experience, because I was never invested, because from the jump, it's confusing. And because I have nothing to ground myself in, I'm just like, I don't care.
So there's a scuffle, and ultimately, Croden shoots one of the twin Middledorn.
Oh, not before we find out Odo was the 5th class.
Oh yeah, so one of the Middledorn takes the tray, smashes it over him. One of it hits the wall, shatters, starts forming into Odo, and you realize Odo's one of the glasses. Yeah, and then during the scuffle, before Odo can finish morphing.
I'm so sad nobody manhandled him though before.
I mean, he was on the tray when it got smashed, so he was tossed around.
Yeah, but nobody was like, let me pour a drink.
Oh,
and just
drinking out of Odo? Yeah.
Oh, that would have been disturbing.
Um,
So yeah, Odo busted up. Everybody goes to the brig.
But Crowden shoots and kills one of the twin Miradorn,
Yes.
to which one of them says, he's dead. My brother.
Yeah, because in the next scene when Odo and Cisco, like, they're all talking to them, trying to figure out this mess. This is when the twin says that they are a single self that I guess split into two.
So something with their species, these twins, they're more than just twins. They're like joined at the hip kind of twins.
The thing is, nothing in this episode indicates that they are special. They just seem like regular identical twins.
In the first scene, in this scene at least, he's like on the ground trying to do some acting. But I am nothing without my brother. And then he sort of hobbles out of the office. But then the rest of the time he seems kind of normal, basically.
But that would happen even if it's just identical twins. Like,
sure, like he could just do, he killed my brother. And then they're trying to do a sci-fi twist on it, but I think there should have been more than just...
Yes.
All you know is because he says it, and then he sort of hobbles a little
Maybe give him a time restraint. I'm like,
yes,
because
I will be dead.
I will be dead within a certain amount of time because me and my twin, like, we're the same person. So I expire.
Mm-hmm.
And that can fuel while he so much wants his revenge, like, now. I have to get him now because I only have a certain amount of time. That could have been done and would have given us some kind of, like, ticking clock, some stakes, you know, that thing in an episode.
Don't you care what happens to Melty Face? All right, so he's talking with Cisco and Odo. I'm incomplete now. Odo's like, well, you were the one trying to sell stolen property, because apparently these guys, they're raider.
It was stolen.
Stole it.
Cisco's like, whatever, just go to your ship. Let me figure this out. Just stay on your ship.
But this guy, he wants, excuse me, that's Vortex for you.
I've been trying not to yawn while we're talking about this.
He wants Crowden dead.
Yes, that's his whole thing.
For now, he'll hobble back over to his ship.
Yeah.
And
They also find out Crowden had a Ferengi weapon. And Quark's like, oh, he could have gone that anywhere.
Which is probably true. Ferengi do like
because Quark emphasizes it being stolen. I'm like, oh. There was this, probably the only moment where a genuine laugh out loud. Rom starts talking a little too much.
How dare you suggest that my brother set up the robbery? And Quark just like leans in from out of frame like,
That out of frame shot, I'm like, he's earning his paycheck. This actor, no matter how bland this episode is, Quark is earning his paycheck because that is legit. Probably the only time I actually laughed throughout this whole episode where he leans in.
And Quark makes a good point that whether that's right or not, if the Miradorn hear about it, they will just assume that it's true and they will kill me.
Yeah,
or rather he, because his brother is dead.
Yeah. So maybe Rom shut it.
Also, Odo shut it.
Everybody just shut it. Quark's like, please stop.
All right, so they go to the detention cell. Rowan's like, don't you feed your prisoners? I mean, it's, again, been about 10 minutes probably. He shows up, an hour in the Alpha Quadrant. I'm all alone. 10 minutes in the cell. I'm so hungry. This guy's just...
very needy.
Very needy.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm.
He is a sad boy. Oh, there's going to be a trial, Cisco said, so they're just like, whatever.
Yep, so can we reach out to your world, rock hard? Like, no one on rock hard world will care because they're too rock hard.
Very much in Cisco's office, they decide they should try, so I guess they send a runabout into the Gamma Quadrant to find the planet to ask, hey, what do you want us to do?
Yeah. And then before we leave this scene, we get at least the one thing that has some sort of tracking beyond this episode.
Yes.
Crowden starts mentioning, a changeling like yourself, as if he knows other changelings. This gets Odo's attention because he cares very much about finding his people.
Is this the first time we also get changeling? Because don't they call him like shapeshifter and
most
stuff?
people usually call him shapeshifter or shifter if you want to be a bigot. And I actually don't know. I don't know if this is the first time
Ooh.
we call some changeling.
Time to do some research for the next episode.
But it does get his attention since that is the proper name. A funny fact, changeling is an exonym. As they explain later in the series, changeling used to be used as a slur against them, but then they adopted it as their own. This is opposed to an endonym, which is a name you come up with for yourself. So we actually do not know.
Are you trying?
What?
I'm already trying not to fall asleep.
Changeling, true endonym.
Talking about this episode, you need to stop. You need to stop right now. I'm going to straight up take a nap.
Anyway, but Odo is now very interested, but very much does not trust Croden. Because he assumes, he just heard me talking to Quark in the bar.
Also, Croden kind of goes into, like you said, rogue. Almost like a Han Solo-esque vibe to him. It's like, he didn't feel like that in the bar.
He always feels like he is trying to string something together.
Yes.
So it's hard to believe him because he's clearly lying.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, give me what I want and I'll tell you more. So he's working something.
Yeah. I don't know. Grills Quark about Croden. We don't get much. Quark just says, I felt sorry for him. And, it's alluded to all this might have been done because Quark is trying to get to the Gamma Quadrant. To get, I guess, maybe some sweet, sweet goods. That's what Odo says. It's just a line that's thrown. I don't know if it's true or not. It seems like a nothing burger.
I think he was talking about, that must have been what Croden wanted. That was the deal.
Oh.
So Odo's like, you've been making inquiries about a small ship to go to the Gamma Quadrant. And that's what Quark was trying to get.
So maybe that was the deal.
Yeah, no,
okay.
Yeah. It wasn't that the deal wasn't clear. The deal was Croden would pretend to steal the Fabergé egg.
And Quark would get him a runabout
give it back
or
to
something.
free.
Yeah.
And Quark would give him a ship to go back into the Gamma Quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
It just...
How this all
not having seen all this come about. Anyway.
So after that, we go back to Odo's office, where I guess the Middledorn is pissy. He wants vengeance, wants something done, and he
has his little band of pirates with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's in the doorway of blocking the entrance to his office, and yeah, there's a couple guys dressed up as pirates behind him. I'm like, I guess that's
not the first time we've seen these sort of pirate.
They have used
pirate mercenaries.
This wardrobe
popular.
A lot. So Odo talks more to Croden. And he talks about how there used to be changelings on Rockhard. They were persecuted and left. And he might know where they are now. There's rumor about where some of them were. Woo. And then he shows him the necklace here from the colony of the shapeshifter. And he opens it, and it looks like a little,
little purple thing
purple
that morphs
gel,
into like a
and then it
key-looking shape.
Yeah, and
yeah. So it's like, okay, it's like changeling-esque in that it changes forms. But obviously Croden here is lying about probably everything because he keeps like changing his story or being like, oh, I didn't mean to imply. He implies a lot of things rather than say them outright. So he's clearly...
And he's always trying, especially on the runabout, you'll see later, he's always trying to needle Odo and get under her skin. Like, oh, that's very changeling of you. Like, he knows firsthand all about the changelings. Like, oh, you're so like them. You so stubborn. Exactly. So weird.
So, yeah.
But Odo must take the necklace at this point.
Yes.
Before we get to Bashir, though, the runabout does get in contact with Croden's home planet. They say he's an enemy of the people, and they want him to be returned without delay.
Very loudly. This guy's at a 10.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as they message him.
And you're like,
I don't know you. I do not care to know you. It's like, okay, calm the fuck down.
Also, what did he do? And Cisco's like, okay, we'll go get him. Now I go to Bashir. And okay, I said there was only one laugh. This is the second laugh, but I don't think it was not meant to be a laugh where Bashir, tests what's inside the necklace. And he's like, he says something along the lines of like, I've only seen something like this one other time. And Odo looks at the screen and goes, me. That, yeah, very dramatic. So pretty much the stuff in the necklace is like his distant cousin.
It's not even
Hey,
that
cuz.
definitive. It's like, well, I guess it does kind of, in some way, maybe have some similarities to you, but not really.
But
so it's very loose.
But at the end of this episode, he talks to the necklace like it's a person, and it cracks me up because he's like, "Hey, cuz."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think Bashir was being a little, what's the word? When he says like, it might qualify as a distant cousin. I think that's a figure of speech. And Odo, of course, very literal, and just hears, "This is my distant cousin." And oh, hello, cousin. No, I didn't mean. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Talk to your cousin. It's like talking to his ashes.
Yes, that's probably a good way of thinking of it. Yes. He goes back to Croden and more finagling, and Croden wants something for exchange of info about the changelings and where they're located. Because only he can show them where they are. In the Vortex.
Dun dun dun. Get the very uninspired episode name from here. So it's Vortex, I guess.
Go to Cisco's office. Cisco updates Odo about their run-in with Rockhard, and Odo volunteers to take Croden back home.
Yep.
And they know as soon as they leave, the Middledorn guys gonna know, so they have to do some shenanigans to like
little trickery.
Yeah, whatever.
Hide behind another ship.
Okay, this is how boring this episode was. Halfway through, I accidentally started calling them Middledorn instead of Middledorn, and I didn't even notice. Half my notes say Middledorn, and then at some point I realized, oh, I'm writing this wrong. It's Middledorn.
Yep.
All right, so now we're on the runabout, and I don't know. Corn's being a little shit. Getting underneath.
How do you stand it living where you don't belong? I've been here for 3 hours and I can barely stand it. Like, yeah, sure, bud.
So he tells him, we kind of get what happens, where he said the government came in, and when you're the enemy of the people, they kill your family. So because the government came in and killed both his wives, and he said he doesn't know why. But later, it sounds like the people on Rockhard want him because he killed these guards. But we never actually find out the original reason. Nobody knows why they.
He always says is, perhaps I asked one question too many. So it's a very vague thing. So I guess if you were to believe him, right? I guess if you were to believe him, he stumbled on some secret that he wasn't supposed to know. So he was declared an enemy of the state. And they went after him and killed his family. And then he escaped by killing the guards. He goes into this very creepy serial killer explanation about killing them, which is like, I think if you're trying to gain sympathy, you leave that part out.
Yeah, don't describe how you kill the guards.
And the sounds they made. Like, that was the thing where it's like, they're still trying to get you to not believe him. But then by the end of the episode, they actually do want you to sympathize with him. So they go really hard, making him look like a detached, rogue, serial killer, thief, no good, and who knows what else, as they say. They really want you to believe that and then have this twist.
Yes.
But then it makes it hard to buy the twist.
Yes, makes the character very confusing.
Now, maybe he was a thief, rogue, serial killer, smuggler who also happened to find a secret of the government, and therefore they killed his family.
It's just all these things.
But it just, the whole thing is...
Jonathan,
he doesn't strike me as a family man.
Jonathan, we contain multitudes.
And here's the thing. It's not like I have a problem with that. But he doesn't strike me as a family man. But that's the whole twist of the episode, is that he is. And those just don't mesh.
Yes.
You can definitely be a smuggler, thief, rogue who is an enemy of the government and was unjustly accused of something because you asked too many questions like a smuggler does. But matching it up with this other thing, it's like, you can't be Han Solo and some other character from Star Wars who has family that I can't think of right now. Man, no one has any kids in Star Wars except for Darth Vader, but he's not a good example. Anyway.
The worst father figure.
You can't be Han Solo in Episode 4 and Han Solo in Last Jedi at the same time. I don't know.
That's what we're going with?
I don't... Fuck it. Whatever. So anyway.
Man, this episode, I feel like, has melted our brains.
There's he's still trying to get Odo to take him to this colony of the Changelings, blah, blah, blah. Now we're back at Deep Space Nine. We're in Quark's. The Miradorn busts in, accosts Quark, accuses him of lying, that he set up this whole thing, and that he knows where Croden is.
I think the only person that gets manhandled more than Odo when he's shape-shifting is Quark. Everybody's always busting in.
Oh, yeah. Quark gets manhandled quite a bit.
To threaten Quark's life. Yep, so he finds out the information Corden needs.
Yeah.
Not Corden. That the Mirador needs to find... Huh?
Akel is his name.
Who the fuck cares?
Thing 2.
And he's off.
Yeah. They have some weird stuff here where Rom's like, oh, now he'll kill Odo too. And this is definitely where they're still trying to figure out where all their characters lie in terms of the relationships and how, like, at odds they're supposed to be with each other and the kind of plots they carry out. And
because I see that what they're trying to do, showing that Quark is a little bit mixed on his feelings on Odo possibly being killed. And
to be fair, it is Rom who says this. Quark never says one way or the other.
But the look on Quark's face, and even at the end where he's like, shut up, Rom. Like, you could tell there's confusion and frustration. So I get what they were going for. It just wasn't done well.
Definitely early season, because later on, I don't think they would ever have this kind of exchange. But anyway, they're like, okay, so it's like, he's going off to find Croden, and maybe Odo will die too. I don't know. Whatever.
Upsnow's Miradorn is pieced out.
They try half-heartedly to get him to stay.
No, bye.
But obviously they can't do anything about it, so Miradorn go off into the wormhole.
So I'm sorry. I guess this is before the Miradorn catches up. In the runabout, he mentions, I thought that was interesting. I wonder if he needs to be true or not, because he was talking about the changelings he knows in this colony. But he does say the changelings refuse to keep humanoid form. So I wonder if that's part of, like, their mythos. Because I feel like that's kind of true, right? Like, when eventually we do go to a changeling colony, they're kind of more in a liquid state. They don't really keep forms a lot.
That's different.
Okay.
I think what he's saying, because when they do leave the link, they do take human form.
Yeah. Oh,
although they do say that
part
that's
of the link.
They do say that that's because it makes Odo more comfortable.
Yes.
But it's an interesting thing that could be true about changeling lore, that even the changelings say, hey, in the past, we've been persecuted and stuff. But when you think about it, it's like, how does anyone know you're a changeling? You can take any form. But it makes sense. Oh, if they refuse to take humanoid form, then they would be.
Yes.
Probably pretty easy to spot as a bunch of goop flopping around everywhere. But here's the thing. This is a continuation of a previous scene where Croden's making lots of comparisons about Odo to his people.
Yes.
And it's like, from a story perspective, is this supposed to be revealing of Odo's character, about how it links to his people, when we know that Croden is lying?
Yes, especially at the end when we find, spoiler, Croden's full of it. There is no colony. And the only information he's gathering is from like stories like his people tell, like the mythos of the changeling. So he may have like a couple of things, right? But the thing is, he doesn't know. These are just stories they told. So when he's comparing them to Odo, it's not that strong.
I would have liked...
It's bullshit.
Not that it would have saved the episode, but I would have liked maybe something at the end where he tries to pressure him about okay, so you were lying about the colony, but was any of that true?
Yes.
About what you know about my people. And he could say, maybe give some hints as to what was or wasn't. But it seems cheap to me to try and have these, like, there's no lore here. There's no, like, character revelations really about Odo. It doesn't tell us anything because it's all a lie.
Yes.
Which makes it hard for any of it to really land as like, oh, this is an important developing moment for Odo.
Yes.
Well, not real. The only thing that
for Odo
yes.
the character, because this is like the very first episode we're getting where he is possibly learning about his people.
Mm-hmm. In the end, you don't really learn anything.
Yes, I kind of feel bad for Odo. I'm like,
so the only thing that really gets continued from the episode is that curiosity, but the question continues, but none of the answers, which makes the episode as a whole kind of unimpactful.
Yeah. So Miradorn ship comes in,
starts shooting him. Odo has to ask the computer, "What's happening?" The energy discharge, blah blah blah. Blah. Oh, we're under attack. It's like I think a bit roundabout to just. I feel like the ship would just tell you you're being attacked.
Attack! Yeah. Croydon takes over the controls because he doesn't know this vortex area.
And apparently Federation con system layouts.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, smart cookie. So they go through the vortex to lose the Miradorn, and he lands, I guess it's on some kind of random asteroid. I don't know where he lands. Anyway, so this is where the colony is. And then they get on, and Odo's like, "Oh, wait a minute.
There's nothing
here." So
no shit.
This is when Croydon spills the beans that the shapeshifters are myths on his planet. He has come to collect something on this asteroid, and the locket necklace that he showed Odo, that is an actual key that he has to have that to open up the container, and in the container is Croydon's daughter, which I guess he found out that they were coming after him, and so he put his daughter in this thing and threw on our planet, and somehow the A to B of how he ended up on Deep Space Nine boggles my mind. Okay, so he asked Odo, like, can you get my daughter to safety? Like, if you have to take me back, that's fine. Take my daughter to safety. Odo gets knocked out.
How does Odo get knocked out?
I put a question mark next to him, like, eh?
Just like collective trauma to his morphogenetic matrix. Like, he has no head.
We saw him get smashed as glass earlier on.
Yeah.
That would have had way more damage than a rock.
Not only that. So okay, he gets knocked out. Maybe you could say, like, with enough physical stress, like the changeling has to, like, recover. Okay, fine. Later, so there's this little back and forth thing of, will Croydon take him with him? And he looks like he's going to abandon him.
And his daughter's like,
what are you doing?
Daddy, what are you going to do?
I dreamed of your daddy. And then he's like, okay. And then he goes and he gets him and he takes him back to the ship.
Mm-hmm. Odo.
When Odo wakes up, he holds his head.
You're right.
That's not your head, bro. That's a ball of goo.
Also, it's kind of funny that he gets knocked out and he keeps his humanoid shape.
Maybe that's a defense mechanism. It, like, locks you into your current form when you take on trauma.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could reveal a changeling really easily.
That is true.
Knock them out and they go goopy.
Is true. So maybe that is something. We'll have to put a pin in that and see how they handle that.
It's very expensive to do the morphing effect.
So yes, on the runabout, Odo comes to holding his head. They lead, because the Miradorn has found them. They lead them to this volatile field, and they blast off at the right moment in this field. It blows up, and I guess bye-bye Miradorn. This
bunch of murderers.
And then this is crazy. Croydon is like, you have to take me back, and you need to take my daughter, and you guys need to be together, not be alone. You two from the Camo Quadrant.
I know what it's like to be alone. I was on that station for about 3 hours.
And Odo, I'm like, Odo about to become a papa.
And then he's like, nope. I will do anything but that.
The Vulcan ship comes in and goes, hey, we saw this explosion. Are you guys okay? And Odo's like, yeah, we're cool. We have survivors. Can you please take them? Please take them. Please take them. Please.
Very far away from me.
I'm like, because Odo's pretty law-abiding gentleman. Or he has his own sense of justice.
Yeah. He's actually talking about someone else. Odo is not
true.
A rules person. He is a justice person.
That's true.
That's different.
But he was all on board on taking Courtney back to Rockhard. And as soon as he found out he was going to become a father, he's like, you know what?
I think he was also, I think his reason for taking the mission, I think he was secretly still on the fence about whether he should go take him to the colony. I'm like, well, this will give me the opportunity to do it if I decide that it's worth investigating. But
I guess so. I'm in my heart believing that he was full on going to take him back. And then he's like, oh,
nope.
What? No. I love that child-free bachelor life.
Yep. You guys can stay with the Vulcans. They are loads of fun.
Yeah. Have fun. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. And they give him the necklace with Odo's cousin. And he now has the necklace. And he starts talking to it. And that's our episode.
Course laid in. And then he just starts staring off. Oh, where is it? Someday we'll know. Cousin. It's very dramatic. I think it would have been better, especially with Odo.
I can't wait till this necklace comes back.
Odo should have just given it a look and then sort of gone back to his usual resolve. It should have been where you leave him with, like, you know, he's obviously still pining for home, but, you know, now but this has been a setback, you know, so.
But at least he has
a look
would
have been enough.
Yes.
Yeah. A look would have been enough. He didn't have to monologue to it.
Who wrote
Bit
this
on the
script?
nose.
Who wrote this script? This was rough.
Yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
Cronin's portrayal annoyed me a lot. This makeup annoyed me a lot. I'm gonna say that he was probably did not deal well with the makeup, and so that affected his performance, which happens. A lot of people are not used to wearing that much prosthetic. Can really hinder you, but it just did not do anyone any favors.
So, if Move Along Home is like the bottom, I feel like Vortex is like right above it, like just a step above.
Is Move Along Home better because it's more memorable?
It's more memorable, but nothing happens.
Because this is the at least Move Along Home. We saw on the list was like, oh, Move Along Home. Vortex, I was just like, huh? Which one's that?
True. I mean, I'm feeling sleepy right now just talking about this episode. Yeah. And
I better check to see if we're still recording, because if this episode gets lost to time, I don't think we'll mind. Unfortunately, we are still recording.
Damn it.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, is this better or worse than Move Along Home?
It's a tough question. It definitely depends on what you value. Which one, if you had to watch one of them again, I would watch Move Along Home again.
You're right.
Because at least you have Bashir going, Marp. And there's such things.
You're right. I probably
this is an annoying episode.
Is this?
This is unpleasant.
Is this the bottom?
But not because it is actively is not attacking you. It is just so blah.
Yes, because technically Move Along Home is worse.
But at least it tried something. I don't know if I like what it tried, and it didn't succeed, but it...
But I would watch it. I'd watch it over this.
Trace it back to all the little choices. Okay, you have the makeup, which was too similar.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't swing hard enough there. You have the setup, which most of it happens off camera. You have...
Yes.
His motivations aren't really clear. It makes it hard to sympathize with him, even at the end, because they tried to sell you too hard on this, like, fake out. It's like, don't try and do a fake out. Just give me an honest story about this guy's struggles.
Yes. And the only thing we're really here for is Odo finding out about his past, which we then find most of it is bullshit.
Yeah. There was nothing satisfying there, and there should have been more about that. Even little things, the twin Middledorn, the fact that it's the classic thing of you killed my brother, I want revenge. Mm-hmm. They put a sci-fi twist on it. Oh, they're twinned. They're codependent.
nothing.
But they didn't do enough they went only halfway there, and they keep having to say it. He keeps having to say, he was my only reason for living. He made existence bearable. You have to keep repeating it because we're not believing it. You're in sci-fi.
You're right.
Make it more like it.
They were
ultimately
telling us a lot of stuff.
I still have no idea what the twin defect is. He just says that it makes life worth living. That's still you killed my brother, I want revenge. That's not a sci-fi twist.
Yeah.
A sci-fi twist is you killed my brother and now I'm going to die too. You killed my brother, now my pheromones imprint onto the first person I saw and I will now seek them out, like that's stupid. Something.
But that would have been something. It would have been something.
But this isn't. It's just, you killed my brother, I want revenge. There's no little sci-fi twist there because they never tell us what being a twin Mirador does. Every time, aside from the first time where he hobbles out the room, we never see any ill effect on him. Maybe if by the end of it, maybe if he slowly deteriorated.
Too. Yeah.
Maybe if by the very end scene he's almost like a corpse.
Old man. Yeah. That could have been something. Anything.
Yeah.
I think this is worse than Move Along Home.
Yeah.
Oh God. That's sad.
Well, next week we have Battle Lines.
Oh, please. Oh, is it any better?
Is it better than this? Yes, because it is more memorable.
Okay.
I think. It's a very stock story.
Okay.
Every Star Trek episode has it. Every show I've ever watched in my life has it, where the two sides who can't make up, that are fundamentally about
oh no, one of those
thing.
Episodes.
Yeah, but it has some plot impact.
Okay.
Because of the consequence of the episode.
Okay.
A little more of a sci-fi twist in it. I think it's better. I at least remember what it is. Whereas Vortex, I didn't.
Oh, it's gone from my memory already.
It's got some acting.
It's got some acting.
It's got the guy from Breaking Bad and
which one?
Oh, actually it might be the guy who sounds like the guy from Breaking Bad and Community. I can't remember. What's his name? What's that guy's name? He's in Breaking Bad, he was in Community. Now there's two people who sound like the same.
Breaking Bad.
I'm going to sound really this is going to be cut out if this isn't this person. How far down this castle is? Jonathan Banks. I think it's Jonathan Banks.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I'm pretty sure it's
on the
Jonathan
later
Banks.
Seasons of Community. He played the
later,
criminal.
later on.
The criminal teacher.
What year is DS9?
Oh, him?
90s.
Oh, that's fun.
6, maybe. Vortex is a higher rated. Battle Lines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is Vortex rated?
7. That's ridiculous.
Wait.
That's ridiculous.
This is IMDb, right? No, I don't trust IMDb.
It is Jonathan Banks. Aha.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so let's see. Move Along Home is the lowest rated episode of season 1, I think. Yes. Not far behind it is one coming up, The Storyteller. Do you remember that one?
No. A lot of these middle episodes in season 1, I don't remember.
The next lowest is the one we're about to see, Battle Lines.
Wait a minute, but they've rated Vortex 7 out of 10?
Oh, never mind. If Wishes Were Horses is lower than Battle Lines. Yeah, that one is pretty bad.
I think I vaguely remember that one.
We're in for a rough patch here, honey.
Oh, no. It's all for duet.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's all for duet.
It really is. The Negus and Vortex are rated the same.
Oh, no.
All right. That's enough looking at that.
No. The Negus is leagues ahead of Vortex.
All right. Well, we've rambled on long enough.
We're probably going to cut most of this out.
I don't know. It makes the episode longer.
It doesn't need to be long. People are going to be bored anyway by us trying to figure out how to get through this episode.
All right. Well, we'll tune in. You will tune in. Please tune in next week. We discuss Battle Lines.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.